Alright, hey guys, welcome to Rest of Your Night. So I was making this video earlier today after the race came out, but I wasn't sure how to talk about this stuff just yet from the race here. So yeah, this morning, or kind of before noon, I ran the Chicagoland race for the Cup Series, getting us into the start of the final 10 races of the season, which will start at Nashville and Darlington. To basically end off the summer stretch, then we got the championship stretch, which is those final 8 weeks after I moved to South Georgia, going to college as well, starting next month. I'm basically almost 1 month away from classes starting. I'm just under a month away now from my moving date, funny enough, or that was actually a few days ago before July 4th. Yes, I know I did a whole update video yesterday that came out, talk about some of the stuff, but in this video, I figured talk a little bit more about the championship, because I really feel like with a lot of the races that have gone on recently, I haven't really put a lot of focus on the championship battle, and I will say something else too, I will likely show in this video, although it was embarrassing on my end for how all this happened. I will show the reason why I am now 7th in the standings with 7 wins on the season here in the Cup Series. So first off, this series has been really fun to run on the season, and I know we had like a lot of first-time winners, surprises among first-time winners. So in this race here at Chicagoland today, I was really just trying to help one driver who has not gotten their first Cup win, who's actually sitting third in the standings in championship contention, try to get the race win. She was up there to be able to kind of get the win. Some incident happened around me. Jet Turner, she was there. I got wrecked to the wall. She got some damage from that. And my car was messed up, so I ended up 2 laps down on pit road because I had to slint the car to pit road to get repairs. And then on the next restart, I was like going to try to get at least be back 1 lap down, pass over in the lead. So first off in the race here, so Kieran and Eli, they were really strong early on in the race here. So I figured the game was going to give one the win. So I'm like, hey, you know what? I'll just try to mess their cars around a little bit on the track, not try to wreck them, and hopefully Emma Bartlett would be able to get past and go for the win. Well, let's just say at that point in the race, that was not really the case anymore. Kieran was leading, and I'll show the video of it, but there was a whole big one that had happened in that moment. And so Jalen Turner, who has not won yet the season either, ended up getting to the race lead at that moment. So I was thinking rest of the race, oh, Jalen's got an easy win on this one. All of a sudden, the game was like, hey, you know what, Caleb, you tried to make a winner of someone that we don't want to win just yet or at all. So Brady to see all of a sudden had a big old run of speed at the end of the race and ended up passing him, or Jalen Turner, ultimately for the win, his second win of the year, kind of putting him in championship contention too. I posted on one of my socials about the championship battle, or post all my socials and of course the reactions on there about the championship battle. But yes, I had all posted, and I didn't really mention Brady C, but I mentioned like the top three, and of course, I mean, I'll probably end up coming back in these next 10 weeks. A lot of good tracks for me. I just got to make sure the difficulty is good for me around. I'd say my biggest fear is probably Watkins Glen, because last few times I ran Watkins Glen, I've had issues on the track for some reason with the car or whatever. So I gotta hopefully I'll be able to get all that figured out when it comes race time at Watkins Glen. I'll be like one of the final 5-ish races on the year. But yeah, the rest of the season should be very easy, very entertaining to see. Who doesn't win this Cup Series title fight? Because honestly, this year I have been very dominant once against a driver, especially in all the stats. I actually have the stats here on this a little bit. I basically look if you look at the 2011 style standings, so which I do look at to kind of get who's on top 5, top 10s, and the laps led and everything. Of course, I lead in nearly every single category again. Emma Bartlett, she's actually right behind actually Tyler Jalen for top 10s. And actually, Emma and Jalen Turner have the second most top 5s. Here's something more to say about Jalen Turner almost one day. She has 7 top 5s and 8 top 10s, but has not won yet. Of course, no, 22 races so far. And it's crazy. There's really been a lot of parity in the field I don't really talk about much. I just noticed Kira 2 and 9 top 10s there. Of course, Kylie Markham are ranking more of the races right there too in the stats. And of course, yes, and the partner drivers who started out like around Coda and stuff, or Darlington and stuff. I mean, like Caitlin and Alex. Caitlin, of course, ultimately ended up winning Daytona. Trinity, she's had some solid runs too. So some of these other drivers kind of just hogging up the front of the field that are in the back here. You know, Alexis Fraser, who just won last week at Portland. She actually got another top 5 too at Chicagoland today. By the way, that was very entertaining. See, she was the highest finishing CRI car in that race. Riley Pope, Kier Strickland, Carl Little, and Ivy Noble, all, of course, newer drivers as well in the field. So, yeah, I don't know how much we'll see of them here in the field. Also, too, I know with the possibly the Xfinity Series next year or whatever, I'll probably have a lot of those newer drivers, plus other drivers probably drop down. I'm pretty sure Carly C is one driver I'm really seeing that's going to drop down to that series next season. But anyway, back to the Cup Series standings here. So, as we're getting the final 10 weeks here, we start off with Nashville Superspeedway, then Darlington to end off the summer stretch for the Southern 500, the last crown jewel in the year. Also, Darlington will be a recorded race on the channel my last recorded race here at my house. Also, I will say too, I don't know yet about doing recordings at my aunt's house just yet. They're a little bit older, and I'll talk with them about it a little bit. I don't know if they'll like to hear me talking for nearly an hour straight when I do a race video or whatever for these races. Plus, also too with kind of the schedule and timing for everything I'm gonna be having going on down there too. I'd say, but I'll get it all figured out whenever I end up moving next month. So Bristol will be the first race back. So there's gonna be a bye week in between Darlington and Bristol for me going to Florida for my little vacation before I actually move. Because my mom wanted to go to Florida before everything happened for me moving. Yeah, so Bristol should be back on August 5th. Then, of course, we'll run the rest of the season there. I forget the schedule exactly, and I do kind of have my predictions for who's going to win the final 10 races this year in Cup. I will go say for Nashville, I do got Emma winning because I think she should be getting a win. And, that is technically a home race win for or home race for the Bartletts. So it'd be very cool to see her get a home race win. I got myself winning Bristol because I feel like it's gonna be very easy for me to dominate that race. I'm gonna probably since I'm back in the points a little more now, I'm probably gonna be going all out that race to try and catch up in the points. Darlington's gonna be another issue for me. I got Jalen Turner winning that one most likely because she's been very strong at Darlington overall. Talladega, that's one I feel like Alex Hartman will win. And there's just some of the other races not fully sure just yet. Even the finale at Homestead, that is a good track for Jalen Bounds. I mean, Jace has won there before. And as you see, Jace Turner, Jalen Bounds, they are top two in the change of standing. So funny enough too, even with the points penalty for myself, which that's what I got shown in the video for how that happened. Yeah, so Jalen, Jace, Emma, and me, and now Brady C kind of are all the 5 winningest drivers this year, and we're all top 5 in the Cup Series standings. Me and Jalen, we've won about 40% of the races this year, 30 to 20, around the middle of those numbers. And for me and Jalen in the wins, I don't have the win list on my phone right now to look at to say actually who's winning what. Emma Bartlett is the only other driver with double-digit wins, plus some changes too. After I did that last Being Martin Air season, she is technically now the X Series champion, so did get that first career championship this year for Emma. Very cool to see her win it, and she is basically an underdog contention for the Cup Series championship. And I noticed too, if you look at this here, Emma's actually labeled at second behind me here in this one, and Jalen's down there because of some other tomfoolery at Coda, which I changed. I fixed the results for me and Jalen that race, so we had a better finish than what we should have gotten because of other tomfoolery that happened from the game that race. Also, too, I've been downloading some new tracks, too. I might look at a new Coda after all that, too, actually, see if there's a better one around I can get for next year, because Coda, I believe, is on the Cup schedule, because I do have the Cup schedule finished, the Xfinity one alongside of it. I just don't know when I'm going to reveal the schedule yet. But yeah, with Emma Bartlett, the reason why she's not ahead of Jason these points is because she does not have a win. Because remember, in the CRL style points, it's plus 10 for the win. Like, runner-ups will get, like, plus 5, stuff like that, but yeah, it's plus 10 for the wins there. Jace has two wins, so he's, of course, going to be a little more ahead of points of Emma. And he's just right behind Jalen, which Jalen did kind of get Kylie's win, technically. That's why she has 4 wins out of the 3 she actually has gotten this year, with Vegas, Talladega, and Richmond. So yeah, they're really the main 3 I see going for the championship. I do see myself at least getting there to battle it out with them. Brady to see, he's definitely a driver to watch out for, too, a little bit as well. I didn't really think about him much today, because, I mean, he got a little lucky today, Chicagoland. That's why. Because, Brady to see and Can Spinner, before this wreck that happened, they were running nearly 30th to 20th the whole race. So they just lucked out with the big one that happened at Chicagoland, and ended up now Brady C ended up being in the points battle. Megan Bailey, Rookie of the Year leader. Very, very comfortable still over Gracie Bartlett. And Gracie did get a little bit of a ratings boost up as well, a little bit, because she was a little lower in the ratings than I thought she was. So she does have that to help her out here the rest of the year. So we'll see if there can be a battle between them two. Keratin and Anaya, I kind of doubt they'll be in the battle here. Keratin 15th in standings. And I really screwed Keratin in that wreck as well. Case Summers falling back. So yeah, some of the Toyotas, except for Nick Owens, really have been falling back lately here in the field as well in the points. Yeah, so anyways, kind of look at the rest of things here real quick. So Alex Hartman does actually lead among all the drivers who have not ran full season. Of course, Alex, Caitlin, they have ran the most races. Trinity's just right there on their backs, or most races ran among drivers who did not start the season now here at Daytona. Caitlin, of course, with the 1 win. Anaya J here with the win, too. Also, I think I said in the video yesterday, I'll fix her name for next year. I'm going to keep her name here so I don't mess up any of the stats or anything in the races here at the end of this year. Sammy Schultz, Grant Green, who came back, he's actually right here in the points. So William Bounds, he's been up there with some good finishes. Actually, let's look real quick while we have the thing up. Yeah, 3 top 5, 5 top 10, so maybe not too great this year. Also, how many starts does he have right now? Um, 14. So yeah, he hasn't had much of a great year in that 28 car. And of course, too, with likely go back to the next gen car, will still be underneath the Ford banner on another team. Because I was, of course, planning on having Eli run Dodge. I've not really checked yet if I can even get Dodges on the next gen mod yet. That's something big I look at because I wanted Dodge to return, but with doing this now, I'm not sure if I'll be able to fully do Dodge next year. Which also defeats the purpose of Riley Pope running that 39 Dodge as well. But I'll also run the rest of the year anyway. But he's only really past Rick Johnson, who's had a really bad year, honestly, in the field. And he will get the grant there in Sammy, definitely. And I don't know if he might be able to catch Vinny or Cheryl. They don't have some great runs here in the year. But yeah, William just needs to have some good runs here at the end of the year to really get some more up in the points and hopefully go for a top 20. I think Anaya will get to the top 20 by the end of the year, definitely. As long as she can pass Kaylin Alex, I had to fix her ratings too because she was very low in the ratings too for what she should be doing in the field, honestly, at this point. Yeah, then Alexis Fraser, of course, leading all of the drivers who are kind of in their first two or three starts here after that big win at Portland last week. And she of course she could have ran good at Indy, but the game didn't really give her a good run there. Kiera Strickland, she debuted last week at Portland. Good run for her in both races so far. She was actually in the top 3 at Chicago. I think she had some wreck damage from the big wreck, so she fell back a little bit. Then Riley Pope and right there in the 31st, and Ivy Noble in the 92 car in his first race. Already ahead of Connor Little in the points. Oh yeah, because he got lucky. Riley Pope also got lucky too because of the wreck today in this one. Yeah, 11 minutes in this video, so I guess now I can show the wreck here. But yeah, that's really all really go over with the points, everything here so far season. So we're getting the last 10 races here. So I will go say too, I do have the schemes changed for Nashville already. I did that already today, so schemes will likely look different on this replay. But yeah, so Chicagoland, I ran it this morning. And funny enough too, Brady C also with the win today. He is the first driver to win 2 times at Chicagoland. So yeah, and also new schemes are for next week. So me in this car, Kieran in that car. Yeah, so it was us two, and that started off the wreck here. So we got to the lap 54, a little past halfway, and I was like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna mess around with Kieran here and try to go around him and guide him a little bit. And yeah, I'll just let y'all see what happened down the backstretch here at Chicagoland when that happened. So we got together right there, big hits to the wall, both of us there. Jet Turner hit me right here in a second, and then what happened with Garrett after was what basically made a whole melee. Yep, right here, as the entire field wrecked down the backstretch at Chicagoland. Jalen Bounds was involved with, a lot of heavy hitters. Nick Owens on his roof, this is the equivalent of the Atlanta big one, and Keratin, a very violent wreck for him. Fortunately, he was okay. Everyone was okay after this wreck, by the way. No injuries reported or anything. I mean, heck, when I was running the race and this wreck happened, I knew I was spinning. I thought it would just been like Vinny Scholes actually got spun earlier. She was completely fine, but then this happens. It's like when I decided to do it and be dumb for no reason, and then this all happens, and it was like, man, the game literally just made the whole field wreck. And I was thinking too after, who all was alive after this wreck and this one alive in the race. I mean, look, Jalen turned all by. I thought Jalen was easily winning after this moment too, actually, funny enough. No, that wasn't the case at all. And almost every single car kill basically involved in the wreck here at Chicagoland. And so a lot of field DNF after this one, by the way, and this one. So yeah, after this race here, I was originally going to give myself a 50-point penalty for that wreck. However, since I was trying to help Jalen Turner at that point win the race and she didn't win, I said, hey, you know what? Let's just do it a little bit more. So it ended up being a 100-point penalty. So I was 38 ahead of Jalen going into this race. Down 71 to Jalen Bounds now, who's leading the points here. Also, Jalen is also actually, no way, the points are not accurate here. But Jalen also, I've actually been catching her in the CRL 96 series. We'll be seeing in the next few races how that point battle will likely end up playing out. But yeah, so it's very interesting to see that Jalen Bounds, she's basically been leading a lot of the championships this year so far, except for that Truck Series season and the NHIS season I did. That car she was in was not really that good, even though she got like 3 wins in that season. But yeah, so we're getting down to the final few races here. Jalen Bounds definitely has a good shot to go for the Cup Series championship. Like I said, it's definitely very interesting looking at these top 4 than me here. Jet Turner, he was strong earlier in the year. He could be a quiet driver, possibly getting up there too. But yeah, so we're going to get in the final 10 weeks here, starting in Nashville next week. I am working that night, so that race will be done in the morning, of course. And then Darlington, I don't know what my work schedule is yet. Hopefully, I'm not scheduled to work a lot because what's crazy is I'm actually off a lot of this part of the week until Saturday. and then I'll work straight till Tuesday, and hopefully it won't work too many days straight after, because I do want to try to get a nice recording for the Southern 500 made for the channel here. So that could be my last race on the channel, but we'll see what happens there with that one. Anyway, just figured I'd go and have a nice little video, also talk about the championship battle here for the series. After 22 races in here in the season, like I said, definitely been a very fun season. Just some things happening where the get Air 2003. This is something I'll think of too after the race. Air 2003, it promotes the racing chaos you get with racing. Like when I did like stop motion racing, stuff like that, there was chaos, but you always had the drivers who that could easily win the races, still end up winning the races whenever they could, and nothing really crazy happening in any of these races. But of course, also to be fair is here too, that I've gotten a lot of kind of free wins too in the game because of the AI not running right and stuff like that. But also trying to make sure I have the AI good where they can run good on me too, and not cause too much chaos with me as well, because they act like whenever I barely touch them, they want to just explode. So anyway, after this here day, so we'll be getting to Nashville, like I said, next week, and Kim Wrestling signing out, and definitely can't wait to see who end up winning this Cup Series championship. This will likely be an interesting finale, getting down to it in early October, late September. I think it's last week of September is when the finale should be. But anyway, I'll see y'all when we get there, and I will see y'all hopefully for a nice fun recording at Darlington.